Hello, sports fans. This is Steven Hill for JustMyPicks.com, and I'm bringing you a special NFL breakdown of the top 10 NFL linebackers in the NFL going into the 2013 season. We have a lot to get to on this video, so I'm going to hop right into it. 2012, we saw a lot of players and a lot of defense step up. A lot of players, step up on NFL teams and play great defense. A lot of names that we did know, a lot of names that were used to doing it, household names. And a lot of guys that fell off, pretty much. We've had retirements of Ray Lewis, one of the best in the game, the retirement of Brian Urlacher, some of these guys that have been on this list numerous of times in the past. But now we're seeing a lot of new linebackers, a lot of new blood in the NFL. And I'm sure you're going to be surprised about some of these guys on this list. Some of these guys you won't see on the list that you expect. That's because I based this list off of linebacker play. That meaning as far as covering the quarterback when they have to rush, in pass coverage and in run coverage. That means they're able to tackle. They don't have that many deficiencies, and if they do, it's not that big of a deficiency. A lot of linebackers need to be able to play 4 downs in the NFL, and I'm looking at it as worst case scenario. You're on the goal line, 4 downs to go, touchdown is needed to win the game. Can you be on the field for all 4 of those plays? So for me, we're going to start the list off at number 10 with the St. Louis Rams, James Laurinaitis. He showed us last year and previous years glimpses of greatness, leading a young St. Louis Rams team who is rebuilding, also with Jeff Fisher at the helm. We've seen a lot of growing from this man. Coming from Ohio State, a lot of people had questions, including me, about was he big enough to carry the loaded linebacker, and he's since then proven me wrong. He's since then played up to his ability. He's proven that he can not only lead a team but be a cornerstone for a team. You know, him with a lot of those pieces that they have on that Rams defense will surely show this year that they have improved. The Rams got a whole bunch of weapons on offense, so that should alleviate some of that pressure on the defensive end so they don't have to be out there so much. But James Laurinaitis is one of the big keys why the Rams will be successful this year. And he's the top 10, coming in at number 10 as linebackers. We're going to move right along to number 9. This guy has been on the list a few times. Lance Briggs of the Chicago Bears. I know a lot of people are saying he's going to not be the same since he lost Brian Urlacher with the Bears. But Lance Briggs has been balling for almost a decade. He's been doing it ever since he got to Chicago. You know, and a lot of people talk about how he doesn't necessarily rush the passer a lot because he's not asked to rush the passer a lot. The Bears have a sophisticated offense that Lovie Smith has put together well, and with Julius Peppers as one of the pass rushers, you already have to look at what they're asking him to do. He's a coverage first linebacker, and he does that pretty well. We've seen his speed. He can go sideline to sideline with the best of the linebackers in the NFL, and he's just one of those standout players that really did well while Brian Urlacher was there, and I'm sure he'll do it without him. His job now will be more of holding what Brian Urlacher held down. I know they're going to try to replace Brian Urlacher, which is probably not capable of doing right away. They don't have anybody on their roster that can do that. But Lance Briggs is the closest thing that the Bears have to Brian Urlacher. He is a solid linebacker, very solid, and he will get the job done going into the 2013 season. I think that he'll pick up a lot of help from that defense, having Charles Tillman and those other cornerbacks. I think he will thrive, and yet again, have a Pro Bowl season in this Bears defense. Coming in at number 8, from the New England Patriots, Jerod Mayo. The New England Patriots have been known for their defense, not lately, but Jerod has been a standout guy. He's been doing it ever since his rookie year, coming out of University of Tennessee. And Bill Belichick really puts a lot of trust in him on defense. I know they have Spikes out there and they have Hightower, but out of those linebackers that they do have, Mayo is the head. He's the head guy. He's the quarterback of the defense. And he gets better each week practicing against Tom Brady and going up against some of the best offenses in the NFL. We see him a lot of times against the Bills. He does his job. He goes about it, and he's a no-nonsense guy. And Bill Belichick loves those kind of guys. He gets the job done. So Jerod Mayo, not only knock on him, I would like to see him rush the passer a little bit more, but that's not what Bill Belichick has him doing. But he does a lot, and he's a workout warrior. He does all the things right on the football field and off the football field. So he's a leader for that team. But the only thing, the New England Patriots have to get better pieces around him. But he will shine in the 2013 season. Coming in at number 7. A lot of people are going to shake their head at this, but DeMarcus Ware of the Dallas Cowboys. With his injuries and him not being able to finish the season and missing so many games the last couple of years, I had to take that in account for him dropping on this list. I don't have faith in DeMarcus Ware as I used to. When he's healthy, I have faith in DeMarcus Ware. But it's been a while since the Cowboys have made the playoffs. He has become one of the cornerstones of the Cowboys defense. But with that being said, he has to produce. He has to really show up and really do the things that he needs to do in order for these guys to win. And that means a healthy DeMarcus Ware 16 or even 15 games out the season. You know, because we've seen the Cowboys load up on a lot of defensive players that have been solid guys. And they have Carr now. They have a lot of weapons at cornerback and safety and linebacker. But DeMarcus Ware is the standout player that can take them to the next level. To me, it's just DeMarcus Ware is a hell of a pass rusher, you know, and he demands a double team. If you play him single team, good luck with that. Your quarterback's going to be taking that grass out of his helmet as soon as he looks up. So DeMarcus Ware, the only reason he dropped, he needs to stay healthy. If he could stay healthy, he would be higher on this list. He brings a lot of intangibles to the table, and plus, the guy is a sack artist. He tackles very well. So when I made this list, I thought about putting them higher, but the injuries scare me, especially when they're neck injuries. Those are the serious kind of injuries that could potentially end the player's career. Coming in at number 6, Bobby Wagner of the Seattle Seahawks. Bobby Wagner is a young guy who a lot of people thought he was too small to play football. He was too small to start at linebacker, or they was trying to move him to DN, coming in a lot of talks, but the Seahawks stuck with it. Pete Carroll has made his mark in this league at picking guys that are great football players. And Bobby Wagner is an example of that. He's done well so far, and we've seen him have a breakout season. And he's really in the right defense for him. The schematic scheme that he's going to be asked to face, especially in the NFC West, where you have the 49ers that have a lot of weapons, and you have the Rams that now have a lot of weapons, and the Cardinals that if they have a quarterback, they have a lot of weapons they can use, that he will thrive. He will get a lot of tackles. He will pick up a lot of interceptions also, and plus he rushes the passer very well. The Seahawks are loaded as well on defense. As soon as they get healthy, you'll see what I'm talking about. Bobby Wagner, I watch film on this guy, and it's like he stands out more than any of the Seahawks monster corners that they have, or any of the safeties that they have, or even the D linemen that they have that they rotate. Bobby Wagner, he's one of the guys that you guys need to really look out for coming into the 2013 season. That's why he's on the top 10 list. Coming in at number 5, NaVorro Bowman of the San Francisco 49ers. A lot of people do not realize, but the San Francisco 49ers have 3 lethal linebackers, 2 which are on this list. I'll say it now, Aldon Smith is not on this list because he doesn't pass coverage well. He doesn't do well in pass coverage. He can only rush the quarterback right now. He needs to learn how to get in pass coverage and do better, but NaVorro Bowman is really the linchpin of this defense. Harbaugh has a unique way of getting these guys together and firing them up, but he's also producing guys and showing them how to really play different positions. He's really got the coaching staff around those guys that really put this defense where it needs to be. And even though Harbaugh is a quarterback, an ex-quarterback, he really relates to the defensive side of the ball for some reason. And seeing Bowman and Aldon Smith and Patrick Willis on film, they play well together. They really have each other's back. And there's a continuity inside that defense. That defense is fully loaded. And I think that he will be one of the biggest factors why the San Francisco 49ers are back in the Super Bowl next year. It's just too many things that he does well. He does well in pass coverage. He does well in rushing the passer. He also runs the ball, stops the ball when they're running it a lot of times. We saw in the playoffs against the Atlanta Falcons. His big play on Roddy White is the reason why the Atlanta Falcons are not in the Super Bowl last season. So I've seen he stands out. Him, Patrick Willis, and Aldon Smith all make big plays, but he stands out. He's one of the best in the NFL, and you will surely see that next season. Coming in at number 4, Clay Matthews of the Packers. He just got a big contract. He deserves it. Well earned. But I need to see him play 16 games again. I need to see him not be injured as much. Clay Matthews is the heart and soul of that Packers team. He is inspiring. He is the physical, emotional leader. And let's face it, he is one of those guys that every day comes to work. There's never been a time where you think that Clay Matthews can't do something. He is a master at rushing the passer. He can use a little bit more work on stopping the run, but Clay Matthews, sideline to sideline, is one of the fastest linebackers in the NFL. And with them building in Green Bay and getting some of their pieces healthy and building back, I think that this will be one of the great years for Clay Matthews. And I think that he'll have a lot of pressure on him because he got the contract, but I think he'll also be able to do well under those terms of that contract and show everybody, look, this is well deserved, this is well earned. He is the MVP of the defense, and Woodson's not there anymore. So you'll see a lot of these things come to fruition, and Clay Matthews will stand out and have a great year. At number 4, he fits right in for what he does for the Green Bay Packers and the schemes that he's in, and I think he'll have a great year. Coming in at number 3, Luke Kuechly of the Carolina Panthers. The kid out of Boston College is a tackling machine. Watching some of his film from the Carolina Panthers 2012 season, all I saw was flashes of Luke all over the field. And in college, I watched a couple of his games, and I thought maybe he may not be this way on the next level. But he's getting the job done. He is the single best player in 1 year on the Carolina Panthers defense. He really has put his best foot forward. He is a work horse. Let's face it. He stays on the field all 4 downs. He can pass, protect well. He can run, protect well. And he also, when needed, rushes the quarterback with great, fierce everything. You know, he makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. When you see the plays he makes, when you see him in the open field with running backs and tight ends, and it doesn't matter if a tight end's bigger than him, he's just going to tackle him. It doesn't matter if a running back's more powerful than him, he's going to take him down. So when players are coming across that middle now, you know you got to look out for Luke. And maybe because he didn't get a lot of the great things or accolades coming out of Carolina because the Panthers were horrible last year, he really, on defense, is what held them in a lot of those close football games that they lost. But Luke comes in at number 3, a great linebacker, and looking forward to him having a great 2013 season and watching a lot more film on him as he develops into his second year. Coming in at number 2, Von Miller of the Denver Broncos. Von Miller is a piece of work. You know, he's a clown. We often laugh at him, at his jokes and things like that. But when he comes to play, when he comes to ball, best believe there's no questions about it. He's the best defensive player on the Denver Broncos. He really comes in and puts work in. He really brings his hard hat each and every day, and that's why the Denver Broncos were so successful when they were able to stop people. He passes. He rushes the passer well. He also drops into coverage well. He also disguises what he's going to do. He has a couple of bull rush moves. He has a couple of double moves. And the swim technique that he has, one of the best in the NFL. I've seen a lot of linebackers with the swim moves and their different double moves and the way that they cover wideouts and running backs in the backfield and slots out. The kid is a freak of nature, you know, and the Denver Broncos lucked up getting him when they got him, and they were so bad that season they got him. But Von Miller is one of the best in the NFL. I would say he's probably going to be on this list the next 5-7 years because he comes and he's taking care of his body better. He's eating better. He's getting in shape better. He's learning, and that's a beautiful thing. You know, so I don't have any knocks against Von Miller. I think that he's going to be great moving forward. I think that he has a lot to learn, though. I think that with him not really having anybody to his superior level on the team, I think that he'll get tips and pointers from Champ Bailey. But I think that as he grows, as he deepens his relationships with Ray Lewis or other veterans in the game, he will become the best linebacker in the NFL within the next 5 to 7 years. But Von Miller comes in at number 2. And at number 1, Patrick Willis of the San Francisco 49ers. Patrick Willis is a beast. And he's been one of the tackle machines that we saw lead the league in tackles the last couple of years. But Patrick Willis is maybe the reason that defense is the way it is. He's just an emotional leader, but he's quiet. That's weird, but to me, he resembles Harbaugh, but on the defensive side of the ball. He really gives the 49ers that edge. He really plays with a lot of passion. When you see him on the field, when you see him calling those huddles and you see him making those big plays, it's not a question of how does he do it. It's what does he do off the football field. He puts in work. He's a gym rat. He's physically fit, one of the best conditioned athletes in the NFL. And it's just so much. Patrick Willis has really taken his game to another level since coming out of Ole Miss, and he is the best linebacker in the NFL by far. Physically, he can run with linebackers. He can run with running backs. He can do a lot of the great things, but I just think that if he had an opportunity to rush the quarterback more, he'll have a hell of a lot more sacks. I just think that in the system, he's made to go in pass coverage, and he's made to cover big tight ends. I know sometimes it gets burned. A lot of linebackers get burned, but he is solidifying himself as one of the best linebackers in the NFL, and I'm predicting him to be the top linebacker in the NFL going into the 2013 season. You can check me out at justmypicks.com. You can check out videos just like this and all my other videos on YouTube /JustMyPicksTV. Also, check me out on Twitter. Follow me at JustMyPicksTV. Thank you very much for subscribing, and please comment on all my videos.